foundations, concealer, bronzer, not really, I don't use bronzer, contour, and then mascara, eyebrows, concealer. Those are literally all one product, because I only use the same one all the time, and some highlighter, and I also have a primer here to show you. So yeah, let's get started. I did film weeks ago already, because you'll notice that my hair is not dyed yet in that video, and that I don't know, slightly different, and that my nails, actually, that's the other thing, are different. But I filmed the video with, like, a get ready with me using just my favorite makeup products of each category. But I wanted to show you first what all my favorites were, so that it kind of made sense. So, the first thing is this Hourglass Ambient Soft Glow Foundation. I love this foundation. I cannot say good enough things about it. It is this is gonna give away like my favorites, but this is quite possibly my favorite foundation I've ever worn. Now, it is really expensive. It's 60 euro or 60 pounds, and I think I talked about this in the get ready with me. I don't want to repeat myself, which is why filming out of order messes with my brain. But long story short, because I tell it in that video, I ordered it from the UK because I wasn't aware you could get it in Ireland, and I googled everywhere and couldn't find anywhere that sold it in Ireland. It turns out they do, but I didn't know that, so I bought it from the UK, and it cost, due to Brexit and all that stuff, it ended up costing me like €100. Worth every penny, but definitely will repurchase if it goes empty. I don't actually know how much is left, if I can see that at all. No, I don't think I can see that out here. But I thought it was a little too dark for me at the moment, but when I was using it in the get ready with me video, I actually thought it looked fine. So it's not quite the same shade as what I'm wearing on my face right now, so I do think it's a little darker, but I definitely don't think it's too dark that I can't make it work, so I should use it more again, because nothing makes my skin look the way this does. It just makes my skin look flawless. I use one pump, and my one pump is not a YouTuber's one pump. It is like a half a pump. I use so little of this, and it covers my whole face. Makes everything look like it. This is such high coverage. Makes my pores just disappear, and it gives a really subtle glow to the skin, and we all know I love a glowy skin, and I can get away with it because I have really dry skin, so if my skin doesn't glow, it's typically got dry patches. So I love a glowy skin, and this does it better than any foundation, on top of actually being a really good foundation. So I don't think it gets talked about enough. I did look up a lot of reviews online about it before I bought it because of the price. They were all wonderful reviews, but they weren't like in huge numbers. I feel like not a lot of people talk about this foundation, and it may be because of the price. Also, to be honest, I had never heard of Hourglass as a brand. it needs to be talked about more. It's amazing. Like, oh, I love it so much. Then the other foundation that I finally bought, I've been wanting to buy this for years, and I always end up buying a different one. I finally bought the Estee Lauder Double Wear. I bought it in the outlet mall, so it was half price, so I bought it for $25. And I bought the pump with it, which I think was $10, so the pump was like half the price of what I actually paid for the foundation. I have this with all foundations. I have this with the Hourglass as well. When I first used the Hourglass, I was like, what is everyone raving about? This looks terrible on my skin. And it took me like 5 uses before I like instantly then fell in love with it. And it was kind of the same with this. I didn't get the hype, and it took me like 5 uses to fall in love with it. I didn't. Everyone always talks about Double Wear being like a really high coverage foundation. It's the one you would wear if you're going out all day and all night, and it stays put. And I thought at best it was like a medium to high coverage foundation. Now it's the one I'm wearing today. I actually do think it's a high coverage, what am I saying, full coverage foundation. But I guess I had to learn the amount I had to use and the best way to apply it. I do apply it with a brush, same as the Hourglass. I don't think there are, in my opinion, many foundations that look better with a sponge, but that's everyone's own preference. But sponges, like beauty blenders, thin out a foundation. A brush will give you the highest coverage, and I like high coverage. So, yeah, have been kind of wearing this ever since I bought it in Florida. So, 4 months now. 4 months now, thereabouts. Because I thought the Hourglass was getting a little too dark for me, so I've just been wearing this one and have had nothing bad to say about it. It's a great foundation. Then the other one, and I've talked about this before, so I definitely have owned it since 2024. I'm not sure I made a video in 2025. I think 2024 may have been the last year I made a video. This is the MAC Studio Radiance Serum Powered Foundation. When I first bought this, I raved about this so much. It was one of those foundations that had a finish like I'd never seen before. It really, I wouldn't call it full coverage, I call it more medium coverage, but it looked really like my skin. Like, it just looked like my skin was coming through and looked just better. Using it the first time again after 2 full coverage foundations, I don't love it as much anymore, but I also haven't worn it in like a year and then tried it again once. I think I'm gonna have to just pick a foundation, stick to it, use it up, and then go back to another one, stick to that and use it up. I'm all for mixing up foundations every now and then, but it makes you feel different sometimes about a foundation. I just currently am not in love with it like I used to be, but I remember how much I used to love this, so I still think that's in there, and I just need to wear it more to appreciate it more. But because it's also got serum in it, it's kind of skincare and foundation in one. And I do think it gives a nice evening out of your skin tone while still looking like it's your skin. obviously is not high coverage. Or full coverage. I don't know if I would even consider this medium coverage. And I shear it out. I actually put moisturizer on the back of my hand and add a few drops of this to it and then apply that to my face. It's really, for me, just a way of giving my face a little bit of color and evening out my skin tone. And that's just, I usually do that in the summer when, not even here really, but like in Belgium, for example, when the weather's warm. And I don't like wearing foundation because I feel like it melts off my face when I go outside in the sun. A serum, a tinted serum, I think is a great alternative to a full foundation when you're in warmer weather. At the same time, I sometimes think it's a waste because if I don't wear foundation at all, I have a lot less makeup to take off. If I wear this, I still have to take off my whole face like I would with a foundation. So that is the only thing where I'm like, I don't know if this is always worth it. But sometimes it's more about the just not worrying about what your makeup's gonna look like in sunny weather, because mixed with moisturizer, it's really not that much and it's not gonna melt off my face. So I use this quite a lot this summer and I really like it. This summer, last summer, and I really like it. Then next product I'm going to show is just the primer. This is the Tatcha, the liquid silk canvas primer. I think I talked about this in my skincare video. I don't consider it skincare, so I don't know why I mentioned it. Oh, I think it's because it was milky and I was talking about milky products that I like using. Yeah, I don't know if I can really show you. Maybe on the back of my hand a little bit. It's just like a milky primer. It smells really good. I love the smell of it. And it blends in really smoothly, and it just makes it's just so extra moisturizing for my skin. Before I apply my makeup. Now, I did mention, I believe, in that video as well, unless in my Get Ready With Me video, again, I'm confusing myself, that I'm not entirely sure that it makes my makeup stay on longer, because my makeup, and I think it's the setting spray, my makeup always stays on the entire day, but I often forget to apply primer, so I don't necessarily know if the primer is making it stay on longer. But the reason I want to apply a primer is A, to blur my pores, which this one I feel does, and in this case to add a little bit of extra moisture because it is a very moisturizing primer. That said, while it is my favorite of 2025 because it's pretty much the only primer I think I used in 2025, would I buy it again? I don't know. I think in 2025 I started out using the e.l.f. Putty Primer, which I don't think I have handy, but that I actually thought was a really good primer too, and much cheaper. The fact that this is Tatcha, which I think is a great skincare brand, but is very pricey. I don't know if there aren't better drugstore alternatives for primer, but I would love to find a milky primer drugstore brand, and I don't know if that exists. I have to look into sometimes wear it in the summer to warm up my face because I'm so pale. But I don't use it a lot. But I do love the Milani one. It is the suntan bronzer in shade 3. I love that this, I feel like this is kind of a blurring bronzer, like it kind of blurs my skin a little bit, which is a really nice feeling. I would also typically wear this if I'm not wearing foundation. So for example, if I'm wearing the skin serum, like the tinted serum, I would be more inclined to put bronzer over it because I just feel like my skin needs that little bit of extra blurriness and color, especially in the summer. So yeah, the Milani one is the one I used really only in 2025. Because I don't think I own another bronzer. I'm just not really a bronzer. That's not true. I bought the NYX, what is it, like the butter bronzer. They were like all the rage, the butter blushes and the butter bronzer. Not a fan. I think I don't know if it comes in more than one shade, but I definitely think I have the wrong shade. The shade doesn't work for me. It's too dark, but it's too warm to use as a contour, so I can't really work with it. This is a pretty light shade. This actually works really well for me as a bronzer, so pick up Milani. I have some of their baked blushes that I love as well. It's not a brand they sell in Europe as far as I know. I always get it in the US, but pretty cheap and have some great products. Kind of like Elf. I buy a lot from Elf because they have really good products and are one of the cheaper ones, like Milani. And then highlighters. So my favorite so far is still the Maybelline Master Chrome. I talk extensively about this in my Get Ready With Me video, so I'm gonna keep it brief here. This is the Rose Gold one, molten, Rose Gold Molten. Pretty sure they're on their way out. I again talked about this in my Get Ready With Me video. Could only find it in one Walgreens, and even that was a challenge. Not available here anymore, and not available in most stores in the US. So I think it's either discontinued or on its way to being discontinued. I think it's discontinued because the Maybelline website no longer has it listed. I think what Walgreens are doing I think they just still have a lot of stock left and are selling it wherever they can. But it's getting harder and harder and harder. Every year I go to the US to find it, and it tends to break quite easily, so I almost always have to buy a new one at some point. And I'm afraid the day is coming sooner than I like that I won't be able to anymore because I love this highlighter. Now I do also have the Rare Beauty highlighter in Exhilarate, which is kind of like I would call this like a champagne-y color. This is pretty new to me. I bought this at the very end of the year and I haven't used it much. The interesting part to me is, right, I've seen other people wear it and it looks super glowy. I find that when I apply this with, by the way, the Rare Beauty highlighter brush, that the Maybelline one is brighter than this, and it's really not that bright. But when I apply this with my finger on the tip of my nose, like, look how bright that is. That is like or their brush is just not the best one, and I have to use another brush for it because it is supposed to be a super bright highlighter, and I'm not getting that on my cheeks. I'm getting that on my nose. So, gotta learn how to work with it because I think this could easily become my new favorite highlighter. I actually went into Sephora in Portugal, and I was in doubt between this and the Fenty highlighter, but all of the samples, they have 4 shades in this, all of the samples were pan. Like, they had hit pan. There was no product left in any of them. And I asked the girl who worked there if she had any samples left that I could try, and she said no, I can't open a new one just to use as a sample. I said, well, what would you recommend, the Rare Beauty or the Fenty highlighter? And she instantly went, oh, Rare Beauty. It's a lot better than the Fenty one. And price-wise, I think they're the same. I actually think Rare Beauty might be a little bit cheaper, so I don't think she told me because she wanted to make more money. I actually think this is a little bit cheaper than Fenty. Rare Beauty is not. It is a high-end brand, but it's not one of the expensive high-end brands. I think both, because I talked to my skincare routine about how much I love Rhode, and I will show you some of their makeup products I have, but in another video. Oh my gosh, this video is already getting long. I think both. I have to be careful because I have blushes from them and this highlighter, and they break like nothing else. I had to return a blush literally the same day I bought it because it broke between buying it in the store and bringing it home. And it broke again in the meantime. Little bit, not pulverized like it was the first time, but you see these in Sephora stores cracked a lot as well. They crack so easily, so I have to be careful not to drop it. Oh gosh, I hope I didn't crack it. No, I didn't. I think both Hailey Bieber and Selena Gomez understand who their audience is very well, and understand they're usually teenage girls or people or girls in their 20s who might not be able to spend a load of money on makeup, so their makeup is all around like 20 to 25 euro, which is still more than drugstore, but it is nowhere near a 60 euro foundation, you know. I feel like they are very smart with their pricing, and make really good products, so great, I do love it. Then, well, then I'll go for my favorite contour, which is again really, I only started using contour in the recent months, and I use the Kiko Milano contour stick. This is apparently a great dupe for the Dior contour stick, which is lauded everywhere. It's like one of the best ones. But I can't justify spending that much money on contour because I only recently started doing it. And I literally just do my cheek, my forehead, and my chin. I never contour my nose because I don't know how to blend it. My nose always looks entirely brown when I try to contour it. So I don't contour on my nose. So I can't really afford to spend Dior money on a contour stick. But the Kiko Milano, again, I mentioned this in my Get Ready With Me video. I was like, it's a Spanish brand, and then I went, hang on, say Bergamo, Italy, with made in Italy, which would make sense given their name. Yeah. But I bought it in Spain, and it's a great contour stick. It's a great shade for me. Before this, I was using the NYX one, which has a very similar shade. It's like contour on one side, highlight on the other side, but it was falling apart. The contour, the highlighter never worked for me, and the contour part was falling out every time I used it. It just fell out of the tube. So I needed a new one, and since I was going to Spain for Christmas, and I was going like mid-December already, I decided to buy this one. And again, very late purchase in 2025, but I love it. I would have used it all year if I had it, and I will use it probably all of 2026 because I'm into contouring now, and I think it's a great contour. Oh gosh, okay. I'm wondering whether I should stop here and continue this video somewhere else. But I know I need to keep blush separate, but I'm pretty sure I also need to keep lips separate because that is also going to be quite a lot. So I don't know if I should. Let's just continue, but I'll be quick because these are the only products I've used for years, so not much to say. Maybelline Fit Me Concealer. Use it for years. I tried another one. Not happy. I tried actually I think 2 other ones. It doesn't do what this one does. It's just a great concealer for my very dark circles and to cover up some blemishes. I have 2 on my chin right now, but I have been wearing my makeup for the whole afternoon, so it's wearing off a bit, but under my eyes it still looks pretty good. Yeah, best concealer. Mascara, CoverGirl, Lash Blast. I picked up a new one. Still the best mascara I've ever used, I have to say. Now, most of 2025, I used this MAC mascara. It came in a gift set, which is why it's so small. It's a travel size. It is called the MAC Stack. I have to say, I really did like this. I think this is a great mascara. I think my favorite sort of high-end mascara, if it's considered a high-end brand, I think it's like somewhere in the middle, is Makeup Forever. They have I don't not remember the name of the mascara, but it was a Makeup Forever mascara. That is possibly my favorite sort of high-end mascara. But both concealer and mascara are products that I don't think are better in high-end than in drugstore, and I just don't see the point in spending that much money on them. So I was lucky I got this in a gift set, and I used it. It's small. I used it for quite a long time. I think it's still usable, but not as much. There's not as much in it anymore, but it is a great mascara, and definitely used it for most of 2025, so wanted to include it because if you're a high-end mascara girly, give it a try. The MAC Stack mascara was actually really great, and I think it came as close as I've ever found to the Makeup Forever mascara. But the CoverGirl Lash Blast, I think, is still my favorite. I think in part because of the big brush, it just takes less effort to get my lashes coated, and it gives my lashes, again, I've been wearing it for a few hours, but I still think it gives my lashes a great lift, so I don't think you can go wrong with this mascara. Also, probably why it's been on the market forever, and I'm glad it's just got a pencil on one side and a spoolie on the other side. Now, I don't love it nearly as much as the Maybelline one, but in a pinch, it'll do. When I run out of that one and I just can't get to the store to buy a new one for a couple of weeks, this one fills in. No pun intended. And it does a great job. So honorable mention to this, but I've never heard of the brand Delilah, and I quite honestly wouldn't know where you could buy it. Probably look fantastic, but I don't know if it still even exists at this point. But I used it a good bit in 2025 because I had a makeup kit downstairs and a mirror for when I wanted to do makeup before like a call, like a video Zoom call. And then I had a makeup kit upstairs for when I wanted to work from upstairs and do the same thing. So I had a brow pencil in each, and I used this actually quite a bit last year, and great in its own right. And then the last two products are eyeshadows. This is, gosh, it's cracked, and it's been cracked for a while. This is MAC Satin, no, not Satin Taupe, but that's my mom's favorite eyeshadow, and I bought it for her for Christmas. But this is MAC Sable, which has been my favorite eyeshadow for like 15 to 20 years, something like that. I bought this in Florida, and it's cracked, and it's been cracked, I think, quite possibly since before I got home, which I'm not used to from MAC eyeshadows. They don't crack that easily. They're kind of cracking more and more and more. So at some point, this is gonna become a hot mess. But until then, I'm using it. I'm wearing it today. So yeah, and then the other one, which I actually think is a great everyday one, is from Rare Beauty, and it is one of their eyeshadow sticks in the color, oh gosh, can I find the color? Does it say? It should say, right? Well-being, which I believe is like the most popular one. It's like a kind of champagne color as well, I would say. It's a really great kind of everyday color, and it's so easy to apply as a stick. You just apply it all over your lid and just blend it out a bit with your finger, and you've got a bit of color on your eyelids. That's literally what I do with the MAC eyeshadow. I have stopped blending because I have such hooded eyes that I cannot blend. And I recently, again, I'm repeating myself in the Get Ready With Me video, found a tutorial on how to properly blend for hooded eyes, because you do have to do it differently, but I don't have the patience to do it. One eyeshadow, blend it out a little bit, and I'm good to go. You don't typically see much of my eyeshadow anyway, because my brow bones are hanging so much over my eyelids. So I think this color pretty much always shows up and shows that I'm wearing something, which I like because I love this color. This one shows up a little less because it's lighter, but it still shows that I'm wearing a color. So I just do one eyeshadow, blend a bit with my fingers, and leave it at that. It's not worth it for the rest. This is where I'm gonna leave part 1, because part 2 is gonna be just just to mix up the makeup stuff so that it's not all makeup videos in a row. But I know you've all been craving true crime, so I really want to make one. I just have to find the time to sit down and take notes. I listen to